Hi, welcome to Making All the Plans. I'm Connie, and if we haven't met before, I'm a busy mom of 2 active kids, and both my husband and I have full-time careers. Today, I am working on setting up my planner for this coming year, or this year, depending on when you're watching this video. But in the last video, I showed you how and which parts of the Happy Planner that I actually use. And as you can see, I don't have very many pages, but this is just my jumping off point. I am using the LaFleur planner this year, and this is the big size. So I have the cover from the Happy Notes. I have rose gold discs. I have my name page and my January for this 2023. And then I have the 3 tabs from the Happy Notes. And now I'm going to start inserting the other tabs that I need for the other things that I keep in my planner. So the first thing is the front section of my planner I use on an almost daily basis. Sometimes I don't always pull it out on the weekends, but my goal is to sit down with my planner every day and just touch base with what I need to do for that day. And then I also made a different kind of divider this year. I did not laminate very well, but I took basically a scrapbook page and I laminated it. And this is going to divide the front section that I'm accessing all the time from the back section that is more reference and that I don't necessarily get into every single day. It just has some quotes on the back, some pictures of my kids on the front, my mantra that I like to try and remind myself about, and then I get into the nitty-gritty of my reference area. I did go ahead and make my own, or I started to make my own tabs and dividers, and I just scanned in one of the dividers. I think these images are really pretty, so I went ahead and scanned a couple of them in and made my own dividers. And then I also just grabbed some clip art and made some of my own. But I do have a lot of things in the back that I need to keep track of. And it's always when I don't have it that I need it, and I need it quickly. So I can't always look for the digital version of it. So I will just show you real quick how I made these. It is more than just a piece of paper. Not much more, but a little more. I'm gonna grab my mat out that I scrapbook on, just so I don't stick to the paper that I have down underneath. But basically, I'm just going to take packing tape and run it across the edge just to reinforce that a little bit. And I'm almost at the end of my roll, so hopefully I have enough to do these last 2 sheets. And I'm not making it perfect by any means. You hardly see this since it is right next to the discs. But I just run it along the edge, trim it, and then when I fold it over, I like to start in the middle and I do a pretty tight fold, and then if I just work my way to each edge, I found that I have fewer bubbles. And I'm realizing how dirty this mat is, so there might be a little bit of scrapbook paper or ink in my tape, but I'm not gonna let that bother me right now. So there's one. And then I'm just going to take my Happy Planner hole punch, line it up, and punch hard. And I've learned that I pretty much have to empty this out every time or every other time. Otherwise, it gets stuck in the hole punch. So I'm going to do that one more time as soon as I find the end of my tape. Come on, lad. Awesome. I have enough. I do have more rolls. I just didn't want to go to the garage to get them. And these didn't take very long to do. I mean, I piddled around with trying to make them look pretty for longer than I really needed to. But the part of reinforcing the punched areas, that was not time consuming at all. So I think it's worth it since it will live in my planner for the entire year. The things that don't live in my planner for an entire year just get printed out on either paper or cardstock, depending on what it is, and put in my planner. So we'll just punch this one as well. And then I am going to put them in where they belong so that they're in order. So these are my tabs or my dividers for the back section. The next thing I want to do before I put them in my planner is to actually put the tabs on them. And I am 1 tab short. Actually, I think I'm 2 tabs short to be able to finish this. I did order some more of these, but there's enough room for 5 of them as long as you overlap where they are supposed to overlap. I think. Let me look at last year's planner. So yeah, last year's planner I had 5 going across the top, and I had made my own dividers as well. These were made out of file folders that I cut down, and this year's are just printed on cardstock and then reinforced. I did have to do some extensions with washi tape because the file folders weren't quite big enough, but it worked for last year. They are definitely showing their age, so I could not have used them for a second year. So I will go ahead and start putting these on. I think I'll pull 5 out just so I can use them to help me with spacing. Okay, so I think as long as I start the first one just barely off the edge, I'll be able to line the other ones up. So if I remember correctly, it is easier to start at the back. So let's flip and start this way. So I think it's easiest, if I remember correctly, to put on the divider, lift up one edge, pull the tape, and then lay it down. And then flip it over and do the same thing. So there you go. That looks like it worked pretty well. So then I'll just go back, and I think I'll just pull one at a time. And like I said, I don't think I have enough to do all of my dividers tonight, but you guys can get the gist of it. So I'm just going to line these up so that there's just a little tiny gap in between. I'm not sure if you can tell, but there's just a little tiny gap in between. And then when I go to put this on, I've already put it all the way over the edge. And then I'll just bend this up, pull off the sticker backing, and then fold it down. I am going to make sure I didn't move it, which I did, so I'm glad I checked. And then once you get the first side down, you I'm going to just peel this up and smooth it down. So I'm going to go ahead and do as many as I can, and then I'll come back on. So I did have 10 tabs. I am 2 tabs short. I think I'll be okay until, I think they come on Thursday if I'm not mistaken, but I think I can live until Thursday. So now I'm just going to take these tabs that I hand wrote because I was having so many issues getting them to line up with my printer. I just decided my handwriting isn't that bad. I will just go ahead and handwrite them instead of fighting my printer. So I'm just going to go ahead and rip these apart. And then I will show you how they fit in. And then I'll speed up putting the rest in. So if you just tuck it in at the top, and I may have put these on too well. They are pretty tight. But if you just can tuck them in, you push them in. Yes, I did put these on very tight. Might have been easier to put these in before. Okay. Or I could have just put a single sheet in instead of folding it, but now it probably won't move. So there you have it. And I will go ahead and do the rest of my tabs that I have so far. Okay, let's go ahead and pop these into the planner. And then we can look and see what goes in each section. And already, just with the dividers, the planner is much thicker. And it will take a few turns back and forth to get the sheets that I have put the packing tape on loose enough to just float through. But as soon as I turn them back and forth a few times, they usually loosen up enough to just smoothly turn over like the other pages. So like I said, here's my name page, my January pages. And then this is my first tab from my Happy Notes. And I will label these. I just have not figured out how I'm going to label them yet. I think I'm going to print them out on my label maker, but the black is not going to show on the black tab, so I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do here. So I've been working on the different sections that I'm going to put in my planner. And this first tab from the Happy Notes is going to be for my daily pages. And I make my own daily pages instead of using Happy Planner daily sheets because I just can't fit everything on one page. And I like to have a work section, a home section, and then my YouTube and Instagram and things like that. And then I also like to be able to write my schedule for the day, what we're having for dinner, and what I'm doing for exercise. And I like to do it all on one page so that I'm not flipping back and forth in my planner throughout the day. If I can transfer everything to one sheet, then it makes my day go smoother. Now, I don't do this every day. It's just the days where I have a lot going on, especially at work. So I will put the top 3 things that I want to get done that day, some other to-dos that I hope to get to or that get assigned to me throughout the day so I don't forget about them. And then other things to either to delegate to other people or to follow up on. So say I asked my husband to call the plumber, then I could put this here and then I'll remember to ask him what the plumber said. Or the same with work. I can ask if somebody can fill out an order request form, and then I can remember to follow up to see if they did that. On the back of these pages, I do just have notes areas. So if I'm sitting in a meeting or somebody walks in and starts talking to me randomly and I need to make a note of something, I do have space on the back. And then at the end of the week, I do go through and see what needs moved to my master to-do list or what I've completed, what doesn't need done anymore, etc. So this is going in my daily section. And then I just referenced my master to-do lists, and I usually keep one for home stuff and one for work stuff. And this gets very lengthy. I will transfer over what I have in my planner currently, but I like to start with a clean slate. But that way, when I'm looking at my daily pages, if I'm not exactly sure what I want to work on for the day, I can just flip to my master task list. And they're right next to each other. I don't have to go digging through the back section to try and find it. It's just right here. So the next section and the last section before the divider is my YouTube and Instagram pages. And before, again, they were in the back section, but I decided to move them up since I do spend a lot of time just making sure that videos are going to go out on time and I know what is coming up next. And hopefully I will be adding more content than just doing my weekly and monthly spreads. So I just have calendars and I can write down what I'm planning on posting and which day I'm planning on posting it on. And this was just a download from Etsy. There's a bunch of different versions of it, but I just needed something basic. I'm not going to be posting every day. I definitely don't have time for that, but I would like to post more consistently and just go into depth a little bit more about different ways you could use your planner. So after this divider, and like I said, I have some quotes on the back of this, and I'm not sure if this will stay here or if I will change it out. Last year, I just had one of those page protectors, but it stuck out really far on the top and the side, and it kind of bothered me, and it didn't stay on the discs very well, so it was always popping off. So I'm just trying to look for another solution, but let me grab that and show you what it looks like. So I'm not sure what brand this was, but as you can see, it sticks out further than the planner does itself. So it didn't look very good. So that's why I'm trying the lamination. Also, this got really loose throughout the year and would just pop out when I was turning the pages. So that got frustrating as well. But after this section, I will put in different kinds of notes pages so that I always have them. I usually have some half sheets, some full sheets, some that I've just designed myself, some happy planner ones. I just go ahead and put a variety in, but I try not to put a ton in, just so it doesn't take up as much room in my planner. So this first section is going to be goals. I am not finished with my goals yet. I think I have way too many, so I'm still trying to work on those and get them to where I want them to be, but I'm hoping to share those with you when I get them done. Then I'm going to my routines and my resets page. I am really trying to get back into my healthy routines. I had lost 30 pounds and was in a really good place, and then I got sick. So I had to stop what I was doing. But I am ready to get back to that. Basically, the routine that I have written down is what I was following before, and it really worked. So I'm hoping that it works for me again. And then I have my resets for the house that I like to do by every Sunday, and then resets for work, a monthly reset, my yearly reset, and my tax reset, and then a reset for the kids' school papers. And then I also have my weekly home blessing, just so I'm making sure that the normal cleaning things around the house get completed. The next section in my planner is my home planner, or my home section. I was doing a bunch of crazy things like zone cleaning and different challenges and things like that. And this year we really need to focus on getting contractors in to do the things that we can't do. So we're looking at a new roof. We definitely need the exterior of our house painted. We might start working on our basement, big projects that we need to start looking into. But this is the place where I want to track all the things that need done inside and outside and by room. So I'm going to take this set of lists and put a room down, and then I'm going to walk around the room and just write all the things that need done in that room, and then decide if I can do them, if I have to call somebody to do them, or if I have a friend that might be able to help, or if it's just as simple as going and buying a solution. But I am going to just walk the house and figure out what we need to get accomplished. And they won't all get done this year, but I'll at least know what does need done. The next section is for my health. Like I mentioned, I had lost a bunch of weight. I was eating healthy. I was doing all the right things, and I actually was very proud of myself. So again, I am just trying to get back into the routines that I had set up previously. One was an exercise tracker, and there are little boxes where each day you can fill in a day that you exercise. So if I exercise on the first, I color it in, the second I color it in, and it really was fun to color in whole months at a time. And I did do this last year, but it was very bare, so I did throw it away instead of trying to stress myself out while I was not feeling well. But I have an exercise tracker. I also have a running log. Again, for every mile you run, you color in just one of the boxes, and eventually you color in a shoe. And 1,000 miles is probably pretty excessive for me since I haven't been running, but I wanted to set a goal that would push me. Like 500 miles, I think I could probably do, but 1,000 miles is going to push me. So I thought I would go high. And then I am trying to lose 30 pounds again. I have not gained all of it back, but I hadn't gotten down to where I wanted to be. But I also gained, 12 pounds, I think, after I had my gallbladder out. So I want to lose that weight again, plus some more. So this is going to track my weight each month. And then on the back, which this is hard to see since it's a grid paper, but I will color in each time I lose a pound for all 30 pounds. And again, I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to lose all 30 pounds in a year, but it is something to aim for. And then I have a daily supplements list. I don't take all of them, but they're different things that I've been told that could possibly help me stay healthy. So I'm just going to keep that in here. So the next section is financial or budget, and this sheet up front is not exactly what I fill out, but I have all of the cards that we have, all of the subscriptions we have, all the savings we have, everything that we have that is an expense, whether it be monthly or yearly, is all on this sheet, and it's all laid out so that it's very easy for me to know if we've paid everything and if something is fluctuating from month to month. So I do fill this out every month. Normally, probably the last week of the month is when I pay the most of the bills, just since most of them are due on the 1st or 2nd. But I have one printed out for each month, and I've been doing this for years, so it's easy for me to track as we go along. The next section that I have is this handwriting section. I did buy a course from Heidi Swapp. I mentioned, I think, in the last class, and I just want to practice my handwriting more and be more confident writing on my spreads without fear of messing up a whole spread, if that makes sense to you. So I'm starting out with her class. I'm not 100% convinced it's really what I wanted. It's more about making your handwriting into a style where I want to learn other styles, but I think this is a good place to start. So I've just printed out some practice pages that I can keep in here so that when I have a little extra time, it's right here at my fingertips. The next thing I want to do is get back into scrapbooking, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to find a little time each month to sit down, go through photos, print some photos, and then actually scrapbook them as well. I am surrounded by a ton of scrapbooking supplies, and I would really like to use them. And I would also like to get a big chunk of my son's scrapbooks done. He is halfway through his freshman year, so I'd like to have them fairly done by the time he graduates. I would like to get back into it. I do enjoy it, so it's not just work, it is also fun. But part of getting back into that is going through and like making sure that I printed out the photos that I wanted to print out, making sure that I actually turned them into scrapbooking pages or scrapbooked pages. I do separate books for my son and my daughter, so I need to make sure that if there's an event that they both were at, that I did it for both Kinsey and Ben's scrapbook. So this is just a checklist. I am going to write the months along the side, and if I had a pen handy, I'm just going to go in order. I need to start at the very beginning and work my way through all the years and just see how much I have left. I'm pretty sure that I have up through about 2011 done, but I also want to make sure that all the photos are backed up and organized as I'm going through. I might as well touch the photos once instead of going back and forth a bunch of times. So I'm just gonna write, before 2008, 2008, and then there's a page for each one, 2009, 10, etc. And then towards the back, I have these to be scrapbooked pages, and I'm just going to write the date, the event, and whose scrapbook I need to add it to, whether or not I've printed the photos. And then I'll be able to use this when I scrapbook, and I can cross-reference. But I do like to jump around when I scrapbook. I don't like to scrapbook chronologically, but this will help me pinpoint which things I've missed as I jumped around. The next section is my reference pages, and right now, for the most part, all I have are the kids' school calendars for the next 2 years, and I like to keep these in here so that when I go to make appointments like a dentist appointment or their yearly checkups or plan a vacation, I have it right in front of me what is going on. So I have the next 2 years, and they just changed these, so I'm glad I was printing everything out tonight. The next section I have is for my son, and I keep his bell schedule, his class schedule, and a current copy of his IEP, as well as a timeline for when he got diagnosed for different things. So again, it's all at my fingertips. So if I get a call from a doctor or from a teacher, I can just flip to his section and it's all right here. Also, if I need to pick him up for an appointment, I know exactly what period he's in, and then I can flip to the next page and figure out what teacher he has. So I can just walk into the office and say, could you call Ben down for an appointment? He's in such and such's class. So this next section is for my daughter, and I also will print out her schedule. It changed, and so did the bell schedule, so I don't have her current copy. And it's about the start of a new semester, so hopefully I'll get a new copy soon. So this is where I ran out of tabs. I do have a section for travel. I don't have anything on the calendar at this moment, but when I do, I will definitely put it in this section. And then my next section is just for work. And I'm not going to move all this over yet, but I will go through my notes from last year and move over the ones that are still relevant and archive the ones that aren't. But I do like to keep track of the OSU holidays as well as the state holidays, so I know who is working. I have partners in both areas, so I just keep track of that. So that is the guts of my planner. And as you can see, it's now pretty full. I do weekly cleanouts and monthly cleanouts. Oh, and I forgot, there is one more thing that I am going to put in. Let me grab it. And I just like to keep a pocket. This is from ARC brand, but I like to keep one pocket pouch in my planner just in case I have mail or coupons or anything like that that I need to keep in here. So that is the guts of my planner. I just need to get my goals written or finished, curated, whittled down a little bit, and then I think I'll be ready for the year. But I love this cover. I'm excited for the new year. But we could also take this opportunity to write my name, which I get as stressed out as pretty much everybody else that I've seen write their name in. So let me find a pen that I want to use. So I got a pen, I have a scrap piece of paper so I can see. And I also dislike writing my name for some reason. I am going to put a couple pencil lines in for guidelines just to make me calmer. Okay, no pressure, right? If I mess it up, I can just get a sticker. That'd be a big sticker. So thanks for jumping on with me again today. And like I said, I'm working on my goals and I'm hoping to share those with you next. If you're interested, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Otherwise, I hope everybody enjoys their last week of the year, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.